Okay, so this video is Marvel vs DC Part 2. I'll carry on from where I left off in Part 1, pitting similar themed characters from Marvel and DC against each other and telling you which one I prefer. So I'll kick this one off with Swamp-based characters, Marvel's Man-Thing and DC's Swamp Thing. Even though these characters have similar looks and backgrounds, Swamp Thing is my favourite one. It's just because DC have done more with the character than Marvel have. He's had a Saturday morning cartoon and 2 live-action films made out of him, while Man-Thing has only had a virtually unseen TV movie made out of him. Swamp Thing is more well known than Man-Thing, and I think it's because he's a slightly better character, and so wins this one. Next are Shrinking Heroes, Marvel's Yellow Jacket and DC's The Atom. Yellow Jacket is really Hank Pym, who is also Ant-Man, Giant Man and Goliath. I'm using his Yellow Jacket persona because I think it's his best one. In the recent Ant-Man film, Yellow Jacket was the villain, but he was a good guy back when I read comics. Even though Yellow Jacket is my favourite Hank Pym character, I still prefer DC's The Atom. It's all in the name. If you're going to shrink down to minuscule size, he doesn't get much smaller than an atom. That's the only reason why DC wins this one. Next are animalistic characters, Marvel's Wolverine and DC's Lobo. I've always been a big fan of the anti-hero Lobo. He steals every comic he's in. If you don't know the character, he's a bounty hunter from the DC universe. Sometimes he's on the good guy's side, and sometimes he isn't. It just depends on who he's after. But yeah, Marvel's Wolverine wins this one. It doesn't matter if he's in a comic, a cartoon, or live-action film. The character just works. I'm just a big fan of his as everyone else is. So Marvel wins this one, but it's only just. Next are metal-skinned heroes, Marvel's Colossus and DC's Captain Atom. I've always liked Captain Atom because he was in the 80s Justice League comic, which as I said in Part 1, I was a massive fan of. But Colossus is one of my favourite X-Men, so easily wins this one. Next are reptile villains, Marvel's Lizard and DC's Killer Croc. Even though these characters are very similar, I prefer Marvel's Lizard. Only because I came across the character before Killer Croc, and so have been a fan of his for longer. Killer Croc is ace though. I could have done another one of these, Patriotic Heroes, and it would have been between Marvel's Captain America and DC's Uncle Sam. I don't have an Uncle Sam figure, so I can't do it, but just so you know, Captain America would have definitely won it, as he's one of my favourite comic book characters. So after all that, it was a tie at 5 each. Do you agree with my favourites? Let me know who you would have chosen in the comments. To recap the 2 videos, it was Hawkeye and Green Arrow, Namor and Aquaman, Mr. Fantastic and Plastic Man, Iron Man and Rocket Red, Man-Thing and Swamp Thing, Yellow Jacket and the Atom, Wolverine and Lobo, Colossus and Captain Atom, Lizard and Killer Croc, and Captain America and Uncle Sam. It will make very interesting reading.